Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Danielle, and it's actually been a bit since I videotaped anything and chatted. I wasn't even sure I was going to, and then I had a weekend away, and I actually experienced another moment where I realized we really need this, and I thought, yep, we need to do this together. If you've never, it's something I really didn't have a name for, but I started thinking about it, and I didn't come up with the name. I know it exists, but it's really, it's that invisible load, right? So if you've never heard that term, it's basically all the stuff that nobody sees, but every woman feels, all of us feel. It's the remembering, the planning, the worrying, the everything that we do for everyone else. It's that mental job that you never applied for. You didn't raise your hand and say, I want to do this. But somehow you've got the full-time job of doing. And that's what you do full-time. On top of everything else you do full-time. It's recognizing that, gee, the dog food's running low, or we are out of Ziploc bags, or the trash can needs to be emptied, or etc., etc., etc. Somebody has an appointment. Somebody has an event. It's somebody's birthday's coming up. How many birthdays do we have this month? Somebody needs a gift. Somebody needs this. Planning the meals. What's for dinner? Someone seems off in the household. The million things that you need to remember or think you need to remember that just weigh on you. It's that glue that holds everyone together, including yourself. That's that invisible load that you carry every single day. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even realize I was carrying it for a really long time. And I thought, when things weren't going well, I thought, I'm just bad at this. I'm not organized. I'm doing a bad job at organizing myself. I need to make a better list. I need to get a different calendar, this, etc., etc. But the truth was, I wasn't failing at anything. I just was overloaded. And the reason it is so heavy is you guys, it never stops, right? Like, it's that buzzing in your head when you lay down at night. And some of us, and I know you can relate to this, some of us, you get up at night, back in the Stone Ages when you didn't have a cell phone next to your bed, I'd get up at night, and because I could not go to sleep and turn it off, I would get up at night and I would find something to write on just so I could get it out of my head and go to sleep at night. Or write it down next to my bed, or go in the closet so I wouldn't wake someone else up in the house and write it down so that I could just get it out of my head and go to sleep. Whatever the item was. And it's not about us failing. It's about that invisible load that you're carrying that's really, really heavy. You don't clock out. You don't get a break. You don't get extra credit. You just keep carrying it because that's what you do. That's what we think we need to do. You don't even notice it anymore at some point, except for the times when you start to feel a little bit of the cracks. And I've started to feel the cracks. And I actually had a conversation with someone I love very much this weekend. And I think that was what prompted me to do this video today, was that it's not just me. I talked with someone I work with a couple of weeks ago, which prompted my first video. And then I talked with her this weekend, and it's the same things. I literally had a conversation with my husband before we went on this whirlwind weekend trip. And I said to my husband, hey, quick thing. I said, hey, I'm packing everything. I packed all the food, all the stuff we were going to bring with us. I made sure that we had the list of things we needed to take. I made sure that we had everything that needed to go with each item that we had to bring. And I said to him, all I asked, do we have soda? He said, yes. Now we get 3/4 of the way there, knowing that the place we're going, the closest store is at least 30 minutes away. I say to him, how much soda did you pack? His answer, you didn't have that on my list. I said, well, I asked you if we had enough soda. His answer, but I forgot after you asked me that, you didn't put it on my list. So if I don't put it on the list of things for his list of things that I make for him to do, he doesn't remember to do it. So I'm still in charge of his schedule and my schedule and anyone else's schedule that's with us. Although if I do mention that, then the answer is that I'm the one that puts too much on myself, that I create that stress for myself, that it's not real. But he actually made my point for me, which was kind of funny because we actually had the argument when he said that I do this to myself. And I said, okay, maybe I am a little crazy and I just do this to myself. No, he actually made my point for me and said, you didn't put it on my list. And I said, bingo, you just made my whole point for me. You said you didn't put it on my list. And he couldn't say anything else, but it is what it is. But I guess my whole point here is you're not going to change who you are. You're still going to make your list. You're still going to feel that need to be in charge of, be the most, right? Like it's not going to mean that you're not going to walk by the dog food bowl and and notice that it's running low, or you're not going to have all the birthday cards for August by the end of July. And it doesn't change that. It doesn't, and that's not the expectation of this channel. You know, Done with Perfect isn't about you say, screw it, and walk away and never do anything. The whole point of this is that together we're trying to say, I'm going to breathe a little bit, and maybe take back a little bit of myself. Maybe I'm going to sit down for a second and the buzzing turns off just a little bit so that I can be a little bit of me again and take a breath and relax and see what else is there that maybe I've been missing because I've been making that mental list and keeping track of everyone else's schedule. So sit down, take this one moment to sit down and think about what is part of your invisible load that you carry, that maybe one thing that you can let go of, or at least recognize that you need to ask someone else to help you let go of. Because the moment that you recognize that it's that load, that's actually part of the whole process. That's what I'm finding anyway. It's not, I don't have the answer. I don't know the answers. I'm trying to figure them out too. And this is part of this. This is part of the process for me, is trying to identify what are the things that are part of my invisible load? What are the things I'm carrying that I didn't even know I was carrying, or I didn't have the answer for, or I didn't have the definition of what it was? And how am I going to lighten that load just a little bit so that maybe somewhere along the way I can find the time to go sit out on the deck and read a chapter in a book, if I want to, or just drink, I don't drink coffee, but drink tea if I want, or something, anything that's not making the list of the menu for dinners next week. So challenge yourself to think about your invisible load, and we'll all talk soon. Everybody have a great day, and thanks for listening.